Today is June 24th, 2016. It has almost been a year since gay marriage was legalized everywhere in the US. So that's why I'm making this video with you, and I am. So I'm bisexual, and it's taken me a long time to reach this conclusion, but I finally have, and I'm glad that I have. And so this is just a little bit about what I've been through and my experience. So, sorry if my breathing seems like really labored. My heart is pounding like really fast. This is really hard to say and really good to say at the same time. I mean, I don't know. So I was raised LDS, or Mormon as most people know it, and I live in Utah. So that means that the vast majority of people here are raised in that religion, and that religion is a very anti-gay, anti-LGBT community, basically. And if you are a part, or are a member, I guess, of that community, you can be excommunicated from our church, potentially, which means that basically they'll shun you and you're not allowed back in until you correct your sins and whatever. Anyways, so my family is very religious, and my dad is actually the bishop of our ward, which basically means that he's like the head of our congregation, the head of our meeting group, I guess, for lack of better terminology. And so if that gives you any idea how religious my parents are, there you go. So I have yet to come out to them because basically I rely on them for a lot financially. They pay for my car insurance, they pay for my phone bill, they pay for my tuition, so it's kind of like if I come out to them, I'm kind of afraid that they might cut me off or something, which I know is absurd because it is, but at the same time it's one of those fears and one of those thoughts that I have. And my dad has been very vocal about his opinion on the subject, and he is definitely anti-gay, and so obviously, therefore, anti-bisexual. Anyways, so moving past my family, so I was always raised that thinking about a girl in any way other than friendship is definitely wrong. It's very wrong. I guess I didn't even hear or know, I guess, what a lesbian was until probably like 7th grade. Actually, no, just kidding. That's a lie, an accidental lie. This girl in elementary school would tease me every time I went into the bathrooms and call me a lesbian. Anyway, I don't know what that was about. I have to pee. Sorry, I'm gonna use a girl's bathroom to do that. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't really figure that out until I was in like 7th or 8th grade, probably. Anyways, so in 8th grade, so I would have been 13, pretty young, that it was probably the first time that I ever really thought of a girl in a way other than, I guess, what's normal thinking. So, sorry, I feel like I'm stuttering and rambling a lot and kind of jumping around, but hopefully I get my point across and you can follow me and understand. So this girl moved into our neighborhood and went to school with me, rode my bus. We ended up being really good friends through all of high school and part of middle school. Anyways, so she, I thought she was like this gorgeous girl that I had ever seen and whatever, and that's about all, as far as my thinking went with that. Like, she was just beautiful, she was gorgeous. And I thought that was normal because, I mean, obviously girls can appreciate other women's beauty and men can appreciate other men's beauty, and so I thought that was normal, but or normal, I guess. So anyways, moving on past that, so I had this friend who I've known for at least since I was in elementary school, and she when I was in 9th grade, she was in 10th grade, she was a year ahead of me. She started doing things that I thought were bad and wrong and things that I do now all the time. So she started swearing, she started watching things and listening to music and stuff that I thought that was inappropriate at the time. I was still very religious at the time, by the way. And so basically I told her, I was like, hey, I can't be a friend if you're going to keep doing these things because I don't want to be around people like that, because, you know, who you hang around with you become, and which is semi-true, but also, you know, you can control a lot of things. It's called peer pressure. Anyways, so we basically stopped being friends. We got in this huge fight, and she was basically like, you're so close-minded, and you're a horrible person for saying all those things. And I was like, okay, well, that's how I feel, and what we're doing is wrong, basically. And obviously now looking back, I'm like, oh my goodness, how could I have acted like that towards her? How could I have been like that? Because now I feel like I'm a very open-minded and very non-judgmental person, and very accepting of everyone, and it took me a long time to get here, obviously, and I don't know if I mentioned this yet or not, but I'm 20 now, almost 21 next month. So anyways, moving on past her, so that's just kind of like where I used to be compared to where I am now, I guess, comparison. So, let's see, in high school, I guess there wasn't that much thinking about other girls, because it was really, no, you can't do that, that's not allowed. I just, you know, so I guess I'm kind of different from other people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, whatever, because I feel like a lot of those people, like, always knew, like, since they were young, that there was something different about them, or there was something, you know, wrong, or whatever. And I guess I didn't ever really have that when I was little, just because it was so ingrained in my mind that, oh, you're gonna marry a man, you're gonna be this cute wife, you're gonna have this wonderful family, blah, 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 blah. And, like, that is what family is, that's what, you know, love looks like, that's what this looks like. So, I was kind of sheltered, in case you haven't figured that out yet. And so, anyways, like I said, I didn't even find out what a lesbian was until, like, 7th grade. Oh, in high school, there was one very definite lesbian. The other one could have been bi, she could have been lesbian, she could have been straight, I don't know. But everyone knew who this one lesbian was in high school, because that's what it was like where I grew up. And, anyways, and like one gay kid that I knew of. Anyways, so there's that. But, so I didn't really think about it until after I graduated high school. And my first apartment that I moved into was with 7 other girls, which, never do that to yourself, ever, 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 ever. But, so, there was 2 different girls who lived there at separate times, kind of together, kind of not-ish. Anyways, so, one girl, I ended up being roommates with, like, sharing a roommate. So, we were, like, really good friends, we were, like, best friends, and I guess that sometimes I kind of wanted it to be more than that, but I was never going to tell her that. I mean, she had a boyfriend, and she's married now, and has a baby, and they're a really cute family, and I'm really happy for her, and obviously I moved on from her. Sorry, my last video cut off, so hopefully this is still at least kind of the same placement and everything. So the other friend that I was roommates with, she, eventually we ended up being, like, actual roommates and, like, sharing the same room. And she was, once again, one of the most beautiful, gorgeous people I've ever seen in my life. And she was that girl who always had a boyfriend. And so she was obviously straight. And being girls in a sharing room, I mean, girls change in front of each other and stuff all the time. I mean, it's no big deal. And I had to sit over and be like, oh my gosh, don't look at her, don't make things awkward, respect her privacy, don't think about kissing her, and blah 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 blah, especially while she's over there changing. And so, that can be kind of awkward. And so, I told her that I was bisexual in December, and she she took it fine, I guess. I mean, as much as anyone who was raised in my religion could. She took it pretty well. I haven't talked to her since. So I guess maybe not so much. But I kind of, she was like, well, why are you telling me now? Like, why haven't you ever told me before? Is this why you haven't been interested in guys lately? Type of thing. And I was like, I'm telling you because I'm in love with you and I don't want you to get married. Of course, I didn't actually say that, but that's what I'm thinking in my head. And anyway, she is married now, and I'm super happy for her, and I haven't talked to her, like, basically since December. And so, whatever. Yeah, I'm over it. And so, that was the second person I ever came out to. The first person I ever came out to was, this guy that I was really good friends with my senior year of high school. We actually dated for a little bit, and it didn't work out. It wasn't very long, which is fine. I don't care about that. And so then, I mean, we had a lot of good times together and stuff, but, you know, just, we were never gonna stay together long term. And so we were friends before we ever dated, we were friends after we dated. I know people say you can't do that, and it worked for 3 years, so, you know. So in December I told him I think I might be bisexual, and he was raised in the same religion I was. Pretty much all my friends are. And so just from here on out, just assume that they were. And I told him, and he did not take it well. He told me every single little thought he had about it, which I'm grateful that he was honest, but at the same time, maybe I'm not. I don't want to say he was rude, but he was. Anyways, I haven't talked to him since we got in this whole discussion about it, and so that was 6 months ago. And so then a couple days after that, I think it was like 2 days after, maybe, I came out to my best friend, who I've been best friends with, like, since I was born. We always have been best friends, and we hopefully always will be best friends. And so I came out to her and I was like, I have no idea what your thoughts and opinions are about this, but I just hope that you can understand and whatever. And she was like, duh, I understand I have a gay brother, like, of course, like, I still think he's the same person and whatever, and we're still gonna be friends and I still love you and whatever, like, whatever. It's almost like it didn't even happen type of thing, you know, which is great. And anyways, so, finally someone who understood, as opposed to the first person I came out to who, you know, basically yelled at me, and so that definitely made me want to come out to more people. Anyways, so I guess I'm making this video now because I've been thinking about it a lot over the past year or so, and it's basically like the only thing that's ever on my mind, and I can't concentrate on anything else, especially like when I'm trying to go to sleep. It's just like, am I bi, am I not, am I lesbian? Wait, I know I'm not lesbian because I'm way too attracted to guys for that, sorry. But am I even attracted to girls? Like, and then it's like, okay, well, obviously you're attracted to them, blah, blah, blah. And so, even though I haven't had necessarily any experience, I guess, with either gender, it's very obvious to me that I am bi. And so, hopefully this helps some of you out there, and good luck. Thanks for listening.